Greetings, this is Paul Dosey from Tank Ministries, and I want to do a short video here for part 12 entitled Look Through the Furry Fandom, part 12, in our series on the furry fandom. Look through any furry window, what do you see? Evil always. A casual stroll through a furry park. Long sentence, I know, and yes, I stole the title, the theme of the title, from the Hollies song, Look Through Any Window. So, the point of this post is as far as the furry fandom, what is the run-of-the-mill behavior that you should expect? This is just, so the story goes, this is just a hobby. Let me see, just a community of people who share the same interest. Nothing going on here, just some adults having some fun and relieving stress. Nothing here, move on. So let's do this. What do you see when you just pick a run-of-the-mill furry event or media site or community internet place, and let's just walk in casually, and what do you see right off the bat? So that's what we're going to look at in this very short video. Let's start with a conference that they had. And this is on the internet. We've got the link on one of our posts, part 5, I think, maybe part 6. It's entitled The Insane Story of a Furry Convention Undone by Its Descent into Debauchery. Okay, and this is this was the 2015 Rainforest. Okay, fairly large convention. I think like 1,000 or a couple thousand people there. The conventions that they have are anywhere from 900 to 5,000, 6,000 people. So they're large conferences, and I mean, it's a huge set. This is just not some small fringe thing like the Branch Davidians or something. So it was called Rainforest 2015 at a Hilton hotel. So let's walk in there. Let's just walk in, and what would we have seen? I mean, we're not talking about let's go to a furry bar, so we pick a seedy bar that's frequented by a biker gang on the wrong side of the tracks. That's what we're not. We're not looking at that. We're not going there to find the worst of the furry fandom to make a point. This is a run-of-the-mill, one of their larger conferences, and we're just going to walk in as casual observers. All right? So what happened here? Well, the article starts out, Rainforest 2015 was meant to be a peaceful gathering where furries could don their best costumes, flaunt their talents, and get freaky or not. And then it goes on to detail what sort of things went on. And I want to keep the video nice and short, so I'll give you the thumbnail. Well, there was a lot of public drunkenness. There were, I'm not going to detail everything. Significant vandalism that costed Hilton hotels a lot of money. In fact, I think the Hilton put out a statement stating that more vandalism and damage was done to the hotel during that conference than all of their conferences put together for 1 or 2 years or something. So there was a lot of vandalism. A lot of public drunkenness. There's actually a picture of somebody in a fursuit passed out on the floor in the hallway. There were several arrests, documented arrests for selling drugs, drug possession, sexual assault, and run-of-the-mill assault. Okay? But the one thing that I want to focus on, and by the way, this conference ended up in this particular conference, Rainforest. This particular conference, I think, is in the past because several hotels, due to the fact of what happened at the Hilton that year in 2015, the conference was like banned in Sheraton and a bunch of other hotels. They just weren't able to find a location because no one would host the conference after what happened at this Hilton in 2015. So this particular conference, although there's a lot of other furry conferences, is a thing of the past accordingly. So the one last thing I will focus on in regard to this is something that furries apparently want to indulge in called crinkling, which involves the wearing of diapers and a love of the sound they make. The sound that diapers or depends make when you're walking around in them. Unfortunately, part of this, at this particular conference anyway, involved actually going to bathroom in the depends, in this crinkling process. And apparently the smell throughout the hallways at the Hilton became very apparent. Now, whether there's a lot of things that we're discovering. I mean, all of the different terms and so on and so forth are coming at us from every direction, and we're making a list, and there's a lot to sort out here. In these series, we're going to have a lot more posts that are going to end up in a book we want to publish about this sect. So, what's behind this crinkling? Whether it's, hey, we're out to find our true identities through, this fursona, and by golly, real animals don't go to the bathroom, so we need diapers or depends. We don't really know at this point what's behind it is, but apparently people were making it a point to go to the bathroom, number 1 and 2, during this crinkling process, and the stench became apparent throughout the halls of the Hilton. Furthermore, to compound their acts of vandalism that was going on, they were taking these diapers off and throwing them on people's cars in the parking lot. So guests that were staying there at the Hilton were coming out and finding full diapers loaded full on the windshields of their cars and so on and so forth. Well, enough of that. This isn't some, there was this furry conference and we just kind of walked in, and had we been a casual observer or a guest at the Hilton, what would we have observed just walking in? Okay? So, let's now go to let me see here. Let's go to, I'm not going to mention the name of this, I'm not going to mention the name of this site. It's a Furry Community site. What would you call it? A social media site where furries get together and chat. And this particular site has thousands and thousands of members, and at any given time there's a couple of thousand furries on this site having conversation and chat. So it's a social media site, kind of like Facebook or something like that. All right, no names mentioned. But if you were to sign up for this site and put together your profile, and I want to go ahead is, by golly, this particular site, and it's one of their bigger sites, and by golly, this site, not everything goes. There are rules, and you've got to be 18 and older on this particular site. And there's rules, please observe our rules, don't copy anybody else's, they're the fursanas and whatnot, or the fursanas and the art, they're really big on this in the fandom, that the art and the fursanas are protected individual property. They're very protective of their individual expressions, art expressions, and so on and so forth. Don't use anybody else's persona or art. That's like one of the cardinal sins of fandom. Okay, there's that is a characteristic. And then another characteristic is, don't judge anything. No criticism. Unless you're criticizing people who criticize the fandom, that's accepted. But you never criticize anybody for anything. Okay? There's that. And the third characteristic that I just want to throw in is individuals in fandom are very secretive. In one of our posts, we discussed, why all of the shame in their game. If this is just an innocent hobby, as Dr. Phil says it is, and the level of ignorance to think that this sect is merely a hobby, the level of ignorance that it would take to believe that this is just a hobby is stunning. But at any rate, very secretive. very secretive. Your average furry is going to have, through our research, this is a fair statement. Your average run-of-the-mill furry is going to have a very secretive life. Okay? So, in putting together your profile, there's a relationship status there. Alright? And this is not a single site. This is a Facebook sort of thing. So relationship status is single in a relationship, in an open relationship, married. It's complicated. Open relationships, call this a fourth characteristic, if you will. Open relationships in the fandom are extremely common. Being in a relationship doesn't mean squat. Open relationships and multiple relationships in the fandom is assumed. That's like a fourth characteristic. So, we have that, your relationship status. I'm looking for just online chatting, online video stuff, friends, a date, relationship, casual encounter. Pretty much like Facebook. Related interests. Related, my community, related, kinks, interest. Alright? Let me see here. So we've got community kinks. Okay? And here you go, and this gloves in with what we talked about the conference. Diaper fur. Are you into crinkling? Okay. This speaks for itself. Alright? This is not normal. We're not traveling high and low over every river and climbing every mountain to find the kinkiest and darkest little small corners of this sect. We're just kind of shaking a stick around and casually walking into the first thing we find that's run-of-the-mill for this sect. And here it is. One of their larger versions of Facebook, and we're just kind of walking in and seeing what we see. The 2015 Fur Forest, or whatever it was, wasn't in some isolated thing, little park out in the wilderness. It was at the Hilton Hotel in a major city. The general public walking in and out. So here we have, my community-related interests. Diaper fur. You into crinkling? Okay. Alrighty. Body paint. Fursuit. Not all furries dress up in their fursuit. Knot play. Tying. Okay. And we've got a lot to learn about all of this. Lycanthropy. Don't even know what that is. We'll have to learn. Okay. Heat. Estrus. E-S-T-R-U-S. Don't know. Macro and micro fantasies. Musk. Oviposition. O-V-I-P-O-S-I-T-I-O-N. Don't know what that is, so we're going to learn a lot. Okay. Plush. Now, I do know a little bit about what plush is. That is like having sexual relations with stuffed animals. Okay? Or some kind of relationship with stuffed animals. Pup play. Scratching. Sheath play. Don't know what that is either. Isn't it always a joy to learn? Species specific. Tail pulling. Transformation. Or vor. V-O-R-E. Okay. We got a lot to learn about this movement. So that's the community interest. This is personal interest or my general interest. And let's see what we have there. Well, AB/DL, don't know what that is. Age play, asexual, that means no sexuality at all. BDSM, BDSM. SM could be, what do they call it? Sadomasochism or something like that. Belching, all right. Biting. Boots and high heels, okay. Cigars, pipes, tobacco. Cross-dressing. Dirty talking. Dirty fur. Electrostimulation. Okay. Face sitting. That's pretty self-explanatory. Farting. And then we have fisting. I do know what that is. Okay? Do you want to know? No, you don't. Foot worship. Gaining, encouraging. Gender shifting. Don't know what that is. Group sex. Hypnosis. Inflation. No idea what that is. Leather. Kind of an idea what that is. Mpreg birthing. Rimming. Role play. Rubber, latex, leather. Saline, silicone. How about scat? S-C-A-T. How about spanking? Got a good idea what that is. Squashing. Tattoos, piercings. Okay. Let me see here. Technophilia. Tentacles. Tunes. Toys. Dildos. Underwear. Uniforms. Voyeurism and exhibitionism. And then lastly, weirdly enough, water sports. But I'm kind of getting the idea here that we're not talking about jet skiing. Okay? So, there you have it. Okay? And I just kind of wanted to throw this out there in this short video. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if I want to say that. Until the next time, thanks for watching this videos. Comments and questions appreciated. Thanks for stopping in. See you later.